crazy party.
I didn't tell you how I called it, right?
I want to go and invite this next time.
Is my name live on YouTube? But not on Facebook yet.
Oh, snap.
Say hi.
Hi.
That's right, we'll just do this here. Earth to Phil.
So we're live on YouTube, is that the deal?
On YouTube, I don't know.
No, I
Possibly.
think we're live on Facebook.
Alright, I think we're live now, Phil.
On Facebook?
We're not logged into YouTube. I think we should be live on YouTube as well.
Okay. All right, welcome everybody. It's Friday the 13th here in the magazine shop for Woodsmith. And we're back after our summer hiatus of all kinds of other stuff going on. But I thought we'd just kind of wander around and see what's going on in the shop today. Part of the stuff that we want to talk about, and one of the big things that's coming up for us is in just over 2 weeks is our live event, the Woodsmith Workshop, right here in Des Moines. So if you haven't signed up for that, head over to woodsmith.com/workshop and sign up, because we have a lot of cool people coming in to do some great presentations. It's at a great venue. We're doing a bunch of giveaways, and we even have stickers for the event. So I'm going to borrow Dylan's here real quick. So, of course, we have our Woodsmith Rule one. Yeah. And then we also had some special ones made for the TV show cast, because what's better than caricatures? So, anyway, sign up for that. And we'd love to have you in person. If you are coming for the event, you can stop by the day after, that Wednesday on October the 2nd. And we're going to do a tour of the magazine offices. You'll be able to see in person what's going on here in the shop, see how the sausage is made across the street, and our photo studio, and our brand new TV show set. So speaking of the TV show, next week also starts season 13 of the Woodsmith Shop. So that'll start airing here in Iowa and a few other places around the country. Now, every public TV station sets their own schedule, so we have absolutely no idea who is running the show on the current schedule and when. But the best way to find out is to contact your public television station and see if they're airing it. If not, ask them to air it, because we just love to be able to spread some more woodworking around on TV. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to check in with Dylan here on what's going on with him.
Perfect. Hello everybody, welcome back. Again, like Phil said, we've been on hiatus here for a few months, so a lot of things have, I wouldn't say necessarily changed, but things are definitely developing here as we transition into the video studio, as well as the products for indoor projects, for the magazine. So a couple of things I want to talk about today. One of them is actually a project that's going to be coming up, I believe, in 246, if I get my numbers correct here. This is one of a couple projects that I designed for the upcoming issue. This is a Welsh stick chair. So if some of you may know, some of you may not, Welsh stick chairs, again, in form are very comparable to the Windsor chairs. The big difference with these is that I feel like these are a little more of a democratic piece. they weren't necessarily built by chair makers, but were often maybe built by carpenters or coffin makers at the time, and were built specifically out of having the necessity for a chair. So utility was in mind, and they were a little bit more of an approachable project. So some of the common elements that go into the Welsh stick chair, you'll notice it's a stick construction, which again is common to the Windsor chair. You'll notice here that the spindles themselves are actually octagonal. Another characteristic that's common is the type of joinery. So again, you've got stick construction, but you also have through tenons. A lot of times they'll ultimately be seated in more of a conical shaped mortise, where with these ones, for continuity and approachability for the project, I actually just made these cylindrical through tenons, and then the rest of them on the spindles are actually stop tenons on here. So this project's kind of been come a long way. It's kind of a departure from some of the other projects we've done, in the sense that there's a lot of compound angles here. It was a little intimidating to approach, but again, throughout the process, I was trying to kind of deconstruct the Welsh stick chairs, again with a series of jigs and other approaches to the project. I wanted, again, to make it a little bit more of a project that somebody could actually sink their teeth into. But again, it was definitely a challenge. I'm glad that we finally did it. I'm really looking forward to people, attempting the project and again sending their kind of renditions of these projects in. They can definitely change a lot. Chairs again, like I said, are very difficult. Everybody's a different body type, shape, proportion. So again, trying to get the angles correct of not only the back, the legs, the depth of the actual seat pan itself. There's just a lot of elements going on there, and there's a lot of different ways that you can really tweak it. So again, it was a challenging project, but again, I think for the most part it was actually a pretty good success, and I hope that people actually take the project on. So with that long-winded kind of commentary there, another thing I want to talk about was over here. We've talked about some of as an extension of some of the products we do for the magazine, we're also doing products for the individual magazines to sell. One of the things that I'm kind of working on right now is we've moved on to Garden Gate. We did actually just kick out 4 new projects for cuisine, so look for those. We had a rolling pin, a cutting board, push-pull stick for anything that you're cooking in the oven, so you don't actually have to grab it with pot holders. It gives you a little more of an extension and keeps the heat away from you. And then the fourth one was
Bench knife? Is it that? Dough scraper?
Oh, the dough scrapers. So those are all available now. And again, we have moved on to Garden Gate. So this is one of the projects I've been working on. These are actually plant or row markers. So what we have here are just little kind of different stakes. And then these little medallions here actually are detachable. So you would want to order them in a set if you're planting several different plants. And they have magnets on both sides so that they correspond with one another, so you can actually change out the medallions. So got a little bit of variety in the wood species over here. Again, it's still kind of in the early stages of development, but this will potentially be something that will be offered for purchase through Garden Gate Magazine. So,
Question for the audience: Are
Sure.
they suitable for vampires?
these, they will not come that way, but you'll notice that you can sharpen these to more of a point if you want. They are rounded right now, so they are kid safe, but if you have any sort of sharp utensil at home, you can definitely get them down to the
So you could kill vampires with them.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah, I stand behind that 100% actually. So I won't give you my personal information so you can contact me. But anyway, yeah. But other than that, there are some other things going on. We'll have much more to talk about next Friday as we move throughout the week and kind of jump into the next issue. The chair's done, so we're kind of getting into 246, 247. I can't remember really the numbers, but again. Welcome back, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. And I think we're going to move on to either Mark.
Thanks, Dylan. Welcome back. I'm Mark. I'm the shop craftsman here at the Woodsmith Magazine. So my latest creation is, well, actually Chris Fitch, our creative director's creation. I'm just a lucky guy who gets to build it. Is this freestanding mirror? Actually, it's more than a freestanding mirror. It's actually a jewellery box in there. So we've got little cubbies. It's all made out of solid cherry construction. We've got some pegs to hang necklaces and stuff. So if my wife's watching, yes, I'm going to build you one, honey, for Christmas.
Aww.
So there you go.
You're not supposed to say it.
Oh, surprise!
She's already seen it.
Christmas is ruined.
Yep.
So that's what I've got going on. Next week I'm going to be starting on the next project, which is the where are we? Which is the Empire chest of drawers. So we've got some turned columns on the front of this chest of drawers, and then a solid cherry top. So get going on that next week, and then that's pretty much what I've got going on. So
Cool.
Thanks for checking in.
Where are we going?
I don't know. Let's go with Phil.
I'm gonna go all the way around, so I don't get caught up on the cord.
Well, in addition to some Christmas projects that I'm working on that I'm not going to show because too many of my relatives are watching these, one thing that I do want to talk about that I'm working on is a table that I'm making for my sister-in-law. So Allison, if you're watching, here's how we're doing on the table. Now I got this red oak from Brian Nelson former editor of Woodsmith Magazine and cast member on the TV show. So Brian, if you're watching this, the oak is going to some good use. So what I have here is a small table that's going to go in a little dining area at Jason and Allison's place, and they have some craftsman kind of stuff, and the house has a little bit of a mid-century vibe, so I'm trying to find where the intersection between mid-century and craftsman might be. Now the table itself is based off of a design by furniture maker Tim Rousseau. The original table was featured in another woodworking magazine, not going to name names, but I thought I really liked the look of it, and I thought it would really mesh well with my sister-in-law's place. So one of the things that I did though to change things is, instead of having just a straight rounded profile, I wanted to go with something that had a different look to it. So what I used was a 22.5 degree chamfer bit, and put a chamfer on the top and the bottom edges and left a flat area here. So I think what's pretty cool about it is the facets that are created, because it just has a nice look to it. So top is all sanded down to 220, so it's going to be ready for finish. I want to pre-finish just to make the whole process a little bit easier, and then I can get started on the base. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I think we'll just kick things back to Logan to sign off for today.
Real quick before we go, somebody did ask on Facebook, YouTube. Somebody asked about the Shaker workbench and how it's holding up. That Shaker workbench is actually back here at Dylan's station.
It's under Dylan's
It's
station.
under Dylan's station. So the Shaker workbench, somebody was going to build it. They wanted to know how it was holding up. It's holding up very well. As you can see, it has a large weight capacity on it. The top has no flex on it when you load it up with stuff. But no, overall, it is holding up really nicely. It's all, I believe, Douglas fir. So it is a fairly inexpensive bench to build, because it is a more economical wood than doing it out of oak or something like that. But it's holding up very nicely. Dylan added a little bit of his own storage here with a set of drawers and a little cubby to match the drawers that were below it that came with the plans. So it is holding up very well. So once again, make sure you guys check it out, the Woodsmith Workshop. That's coming up in 2 weeks, October 1st and September 30th. Got those backwards. September 30th and October 1st. We have some tickets left for that. That is 2 weeks. They'll be here before you know it. Check that out, woodsmith.com/workshop. Thank you, Phil. And we will see you guys next Friday back here in the shop. We'll see what we have going on then. So.